Morning rants with Tricks, and it's pretty early still. But, quite often, first thing in the morning, the best stuff's there. I want to touch on several different points, but not to explore them in depth in any manner this morning, but the sanctity of life itself. We are not separate from life itself, and nor can we be. And I want everyone to contemplate the lost tribes of Israel, remembering that we are apolitical, that it's we the people that are the ultimate, supreme, uncontrollable authority in the Commonwealth of Australia, and in fact all the realms of Commonwealth. And our Constitution is solid. Hence the level of effort to defeat it. I'll go back to the sanctity of life and those that see, those that walk softly, those that see differently, know differently, are different. Only in terms of encompassing the light within, and whether or not, well, now I think we're moving into a different mix of transhuman and bot. Those that are cut off and caught in the lower chakras have the ability to change is no longer an issue or something to be disputed and waste my time or your time or anyone's time, in fact. Because the sanctity of life and the fact that we're here at all is an utter miracle. And the sacredness of what we hold in being can't be surpassed or usurped in any manner. And the preciousness of the opportunities that we have in front of us, and the all that we are. And the connection and the depth and the love and the forces of the universe are with us. And as we discovered, it's now out in the open and apparent that amongst a few of us and the lost tribes of Israel are scattered all over the world. And the lost tribes of Israel operate within all the chakras, all the chakra vibrations. They're multi-dimensional beings hidden in a body, and they have access to realms that the bulk don't. And now we're witnessing mass scales of treasonous treachery first hand in the courts standing, as Dawn has found. And it's the beginning of the end. It's the fall of Rome again, although Rome never fell. Come on, old boy. But what's most important is the universal principles of natural law and the sanctity and the holiness of what we stand with. Defending the faith and the beauty of this earth and our souls and our spirits and our creativeness that creates and enhances and enriches and brings forward the beauty of what we are in fullness and in life its very self is what we stand and hold to. It is what our English law enshrines. And it's not a hierarchy. It is we, the people, that command the law. The law is ours. Common law of England is considered the #1 social justice system in the world, and communists and those aligned, the Jesuits, the Masons, have sought to undermine, in the vulgar will to power, to believe that they can usurp the creation of what is itself, is the most sickening, vile arrogance ever. And the universal principles will not allow said in the light of our consciousness. The relationship between the Crown and the Parliament and the government. The Parliament belongs to the Crown. It doesn't have supremacy over the Crown. And the Parlement is the voice of the people, and our laws are already there, passed down generation after generation. Our constitutions were taken out of schools in, I've got it here somewhere, I know it was the 50s. The judiciary and the Parliament, the English Constitution, all removed, all the rights, freedoms and liberties enshrined within each of those powers of separation, not taught in schools. They're not taught. The English Constitution is not taught in bar exams, resulting in judges being unaware of our constitutional rights and our common law. And it was removed from the curriculum in school. All teaching facilities are meant to be under the Crown. Parliament is limited by the Constitution, and that is a fact. And they never teach you that in school. It was gone by the 70s. To subvert the English Constitution is to commit treason against England, against the Crown. The English Bill of Rights, which is valid law, current valid law, according to the High Court of Australia, and the High Court of Australia's rulings form part of the governance of a commonwealth. They are your railway tracks on the soil for the health and well-being, the sanctity, the integrity, and the moral guidance, the compass for all the realm. The English Bill of Rights declares many rights, including the right to keep and bear arms, which cannot be repealed. There is no right to repeal. There is no ability at law to derogate. These rights are forever enshrined. The bar is prohibited to levy against a British or an English subject of the King, a Crown servant, a Commonwealth national, forevermore. The coronation oath and the accession oath. Breaching those oaths is akin to treason. The king is bound to the law like you and I are bound to the law. We are a united kingdom, commonwealth. Treaties do not override the law. A sovereign treaty to sovereign treaty is not to subject. That's really important to get in your head. No sovereign state can override the freedoms, rights and liberties of the subject. English common law jurisdiction. And going back in time when my great-great-great-grandma would travel with Queen Victoria to Scotland every year. And Scotland became or joined the United Kingdom. They say the British Empire, but they bought English law. The Scots asked for English law, which is a separate jurisdiction to Roman law, and we know that. And it differs enormously. The English jurisdiction, the English law, is based on everything is allowed unless forbidden. And what is allowed is ruled by the social conscience of the people, by the conscience of the people, individual conscience of the people. Roman law is the opposite. Roman law lists everything that's allowed, and if it's not on the list, guess what? It's prohibited. And that is what we're up against. Freedom or slavery. Our spirit must be free to grow and bear the fruits of the triune we are. (1701) Act of Settlement, Chapter 4 states, the laws of England are the birthright of the people, and it is their job to pass on the eternal flame of freedom to the next generation. The Act of Settlement is important and part of our inheritance at law. It makes it very clear, and I'll say it again. The laws of England are the birthright of the people, and it is their job to pass on the eternal flame of freedom to the next generation. It is a crucial constitutional document that outlines the hierarchy of the king and peers and what they can and cannot do, and it cannot be repealed. They have attempted and taken parts of many pieces of law which they had no right and have no right to do. Nothing can take. You can only strengthen the law. What we're fighting for is life itself and the devastation to our planet, our earth, our air, our souls, our freedoms, our liberties, under the vulgar arrogance of artificial lights, artificial strength, artificial truths, artificial spirit, artificial AI, artificial programming is vulgar and arrogant and beyond comprehension. When dignity, equity, and justice and right and the abundance of the earth is already here. We carry the eternal flame, and we have a duty to bring it, not just one generation, but for 7. We must look to 7. We know what we're fighting for, and the law's here, and the King's Bench must sit, and the great act of Prémunier, 1351, must right the reign. And we'll keep calm and carry on. And in our souls we know that we can do the impossible amongst the quiet few. God save the King.